Hello everyone, my name is Veritas and welcome back to Destiny. How's everyone doing today? It's Friday. It means Zur, the exotic merchant, is here in the tower. He is a weekly merchant that shows up on Friday and leaves Sunday morning. He's here for 2 days and he is selling some pretty good stuff usually. Somewhere randomly in a social space. Sells it for strange coins and things like that. This time he's over here by the door across from the speaker in the tower north. If you don't know where that is, I just showed you, so now you do. Let's see what he's got. As always, I don't look before. Hey, look, he's got Dune Marchers. What those got? Where you go? Oh, those are pretty good. Shotgun and a rocket launcher on that. You did. Look at you. You heard me complain yesterday that I needed some Dune Marchers with a rocket launcher ammo, and you go ahead and you bring them. Aren't you just a peachy keen little, just aren't you a little tyke? You literally just I'd pinch your cheek if I could reach in the game and do it. Motherfucker, thank you, sir. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Nine. Praise the Jupiter. Fucking hell. So, alright, I'll tell you why I'm going fucking insane later, but before then, let's go ahead and take a gander at his stat rolls. What the fuck was it? Henry, in the news chopper, I need the stat rolls on the armor.
Yeah, Bill, I got you. What was your, John, I got you. The Dune Marchers there, the Titan Exotic Boots are an 88% stat roll, not very good. I don't know why you wasted your coins on those there, John. The Sealed Graph, those are a 99%. John, I'd go ahead and pick those up if I were you. And the Alchemist Arraignment is a 94% stat roll there, John. Not great, John. But chest piece itself is kind of shit, so I wouldn't go it. And the Red Death there doesn't have a light level or a stat roll rather, so I can't help you with that. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Henry. Anyway, so this time he has a Legacy Engram. Shocking. This is a Year 1 Legacy Engram, so if you decrypt it, it will turn into a Year 1 special weapon. He has the Dune Marchers for the Titans. This is a great pair of boots. The stat roll is kind of shit at 88%, but it's what I needed, so I'm going to buy it anyway. Mine are 99%, so I'm kind of like, but whatever. I have 13,000 coins. I don't care. Speed Demon increases sprint speed and turning radius while sprinting, and your movement speed while aiming your weapon is also increased. So these are basically better Frosties, in my opinion. You get faster regardless of what you're doing. It's very nice. They look amazing too. Look at those. Look at those. They look so good. And yeah, so these have shotgun ammo and rocket launcher ammo, good for your Crucible and PvE needs, as well as arc double down, so you get a agility bonus with arc double kills. Fun stuff there. Let me go ahead and throw a non-shader on so you can see what they look like with no shader, because they do look a little questionable with no shader on. They're a little weird looking, but all armor is. So let's throw something on that's, they're cool with pretty much any shader you wear. Just make sure you're wearing a shader that covers up the fact they look lime green and white, is all I'm really getting at with that one. Back into the thing here, we have the Sealed Ahamkar's Grass. These are 99% stat roll. I'd pick these up if I were you. I might actually grab them because they're a perfect stat roll. The only problem with these is they have sidearm loader and machine gun loader, which means if you try to twist fate and re-roll them to have a better loader type, you might actually lose the stat roll. What these do is they have Nightmare Fuel. Fun. Gain an additional melee damage has a chance to automatically reload your primary weapon rather. So this counts for, like, if you throw a throwing knife and hit something with it, it might reload your primary weapon. Same thing with toxic poison smoke, things like that. Basically any of your melees, charged or not, so throwing knife or just the regular stabbing blade, all that stuff has a chance to refill your primary weapon. Pretty cool, and you also get additional melee charge, so you get 2 throwing knives, you get 2 smoke bomb charges, all that kind of fun stuff, regardless of what subclass you are on. These have increased discipline and strength, switchblade, and impact induction, and sidearm loader, machine gun loader, so not great in terms of what their perks are, but the stats are pretty good. If you use machine guns a lot, or sidearms a lot, or you just don't care about having a reload gauntlet for the weapon you use, I'd pick them up because they're really good. I think the maximum for gauntlets is 57 or 58. So these are one off in the strength tree, but they're close enough. The Alchemist Arraignment is a Warlock chess piece. This thing is a Glimmer Machine. This has iron to gold. This gives you a chance to gain Glimmer on primary ammo pickup, orbs collected when your super is full, recharge your grenades in melee. It's a pretty cool looking chest piece. I kind of wish I was on my Titan to show you what this looks like. It's very, very cool looking. It just doesn't take shaders very well, which is a problem. But this thing is good for Glimmer farming and just pretty much good. The whole orbs refill your melee and grenades thing is actually pretty helpful if you're running like a Tlaloc build, because your super is going to be full all the time anyway. But you have special ammo here and heavy ammo, which is nice to have, you know, just the blanket special and heavy ammo. This is the good burn defense, this one right here, so that's good for arc burn. And yeah, I would pick that chest piece up. It's 92% of the maximum possible, or the possible maximum rather. So I'd pick up this chest piece. I pick up these gauntlets just for the stats if you don't have to worry about the loader being shit. And I'd grab these boots probably, even though the boots are 88% of the maximum possible. Possible maximum, fuck me. Even though these aren't the best in terms of stat roll, because boots max out at 79 and these are at 70, 75. Even though they're not great, you're really not going to notice that as much unless you're like hardcore tier 12. You're not going to really notice that like lack of a few points there, a few points here. So I'd grab these just because shotgun and rocket launcher are really, really good. And then the weapon he has this week is the Red Death. This is an exotic pulse rifle. I was using it yesterday on stream. Very, very good weapon. I realized yesterday how much I loved Red Death, and is going to get shaders, or ornaments rather. It's going to get ornaments in the Dawning, so like next week it's going to have like 2 ornaments. They're both kind of meh, but it'll have ornaments next week. It's also a very good pulse rifle. It handles very well. It looks beautiful. It's nice. It's got unflinching, high caliber rounds, single point sling, snapshot, and Red Death. What Red Death does is each kill heals you and speeds up a reload. So every time you get a kill, you get an ability called Red Death, and this makes it so your reload speed is that of like a Feeding Frenzy-esque outlaw type reload speed, and you also get health regen, which is very, very nice. So I would run unflinching, high caliber, Red Death, and then probably aggressive ballistics just for the extra impact on that gun right there. But that's what I would get from him. Honestly, I'd probably pick up everything. If you need something for your classes, I would grab everything here, just because they're all useful and they're all pretty fun to use. I'm actually probably going to buy Crucible Assassin because I don't have it. I'm not, because it's too much silver dust for me to care. But the weapon ornaments down here this week, he has not a toy. This is for the Zalo Supercell. Same one as last week, still looks like shit compared to the other one for Zalo, which is Shock Hazard. I will not show that until he owns it, until he has it for offering. And the other ornament he has this week is Crucible Assassin. This is for the Trespasser. This is the one I think that looks really cool. If I'm remembering correctly, this is the one that looks really cool, or it's the one that looks really shit. I don't remember. You'll see on screen if it looks cool or not. Moving down to curios, we have the Plasma Drive, unquote, unquote, and the Emerald Coil, quote, quote. These two are used to upgrade rare quality sparrows, so any blue sparrow you get from the Vanguard or Crucible Quartermasters, you can put these drives into, upgrade them to legendary quality sparrows with a blue or green trail, little exhaust trail, respectively. Fun stuff there. If you are a sparrow collector or just really like the color blue or green, you can go ahead and buy a sparrow, make it green, and fun stuff like that. Moving into heavy ammo synthesis this week, these can be used to give you heavy ammo in combat, or they can be used to trade into factions for reputation. 100 of these, 100 heavy ammo synthesis turn into one faction rank, or I think it's like 80 or 90 if you have the exotic class item. I would also pick some of these up just for the Dawning, because you're going to need heavy ammo anyway. Moving into the 3 of coins this week. This is a stackable thing. Not really, though. 3 of coins, I'm going to pick up a couple of these just because I'm running low. What 3 of coins do is they allow you the chance to get an exotic engram from the next Ultra or Crucible match you complete. By that, what we mean is, do you have a buff? No, you don't have a buff. Go to your inventory, use A3 of coins. Now you have a buff called Exotic Particles. What this does is the next time you complete a Crucible match or kill a named enemy, for the most part, excluding Omnigul and the Scion Flares, and a couple others in the raid, it will burn this buff, and it gives you like a 5% chance for an engram to drop. If you don't get an engram to drop from that first one, then your Exotic Particles is gone. It's been burned. Go back in and use another one. When you use the next one, the next successive one you've used after a failed one will be like a 10%. Do it again. If you don't get one, use another one. This will be, after a failed attempt, a 15% about. That's how I like to explain it to people. It's about that. It's not really So you could get lucky on the first one every single time, or you could get really unlucky on the 90th every single time. So just be careful there with what you're doing with the 3 of coins. They're not great. They're not a great form to get exotics, but they're more reliable, I guess, than Zur is usually. The things I'm buying here, these are glass needles. These can be used to reroll exotic armors and change the stats, perks, and allocations on those as such. I'm going to buy a few of them just because I want to re-roll my Dune Marchers to get a perfect roll of these, because these are great, and I'm probably going to use them for a while, but they're not perfect. So what glass needles do is you can use these to re-roll exotic armor. Let's find the ones that I don't want to... There we go. So let's find these. These are Dune Marchers. I bought these from the kiosk. Don't worry about that. So I'm looking for rocket launcher here, and I'm looking for like upper 50s here. Let's see what I'm looking for 56 up here, which is a perfect stat roll. So these can switch armor. So here you see I've used them. It has changed where the stats are, what the stat numbers are, and it has also changed the types of perks there are down here. It's also changed the quality of the weapon in terms of how much stat is there. So it's like it went from like 89 to like 87 or whatever that turned out to be. These are 99, almost perfect. But anyway, don't worry about that unless you're worrying about tier 12 nonsense. But that's what glass needles do. They can be used to re-roll exotic armors. For the most part, most exotic armors have they are designated to one type. So like this is probably an intellect chest piece. This is probably a strength pair of gauntlets because they're mainly around melee charge. This one's kind of around super being charged, things like that. So you need to worry about if the thing you're rerolling can actually be rerolled to the thing you want. Anyway, that's where he is. That's what he's got. And don't ever use the material exchange he has at the bottom there. I'm just going to stop showing it all together because it's literally bad for you. That's where he is. That's what he's got. Honestly, I'd recommend buying anything he has. Pretty much everything he's got this week is pretty good. The Red Death's pretty fun. The boots that he's selling for the Titan they're not great in terms of percentages, but the perks they have on them and what they do for you exotic-wise are really good. For that sense, the gauntlets for the Hunter are really good in terms of the stat roll, but they're pretty shit in terms of perks. And the chest piece for the Warlock is pretty much the best of both worlds. It's pretty decent stat roll and pretty decent perks. And Red Death is pretty fun to use as well. So I'd pick up whatever he has, whatever you need, pretty much. If you need something for your Titan, Hunter, Warlock, or a primary weapon, I go ahead and pick it up. Pretty fun. Good stuff right there. So that's it. All I got for you. Enjoy your week. Dawning is next week. I'm very excited about that. Let's see what Zur has after the Dawning. Hopefully one of the new ornaments. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, very much appreciated. I'm still streaming on Twitch pretty much every day. Follow me. Link in the description. Twitch.tv/AtruumVeritas. Fun stuff like that. Join me while I'm live listening to music and killing aliens and shit. It's fun shit. Thank you for watching. And as always, until next time.